Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Dr. Mohammed Al-Ali, I'd like to thank and welcome all the panelists joining us here today at Trans Research and Advisory. My name is Rahaf Al-Khazraji, and I'll be your moderator for today's symposium entitled Employing Artificial Intelligence in Education and Scientific Research. Artificial intelligence, or AI, has been widely applied in various sectors of our modern society, which led to major advancement in the standard of living of mankind, as the AI-driven applications and services is facilitating and improving the way people conduct their daily activities. AI has been accelerating new innovations in various industries, such as education, research, and technology. The scientific community has also emphasized on AI's potential utilization on multiple fronts, including healthcare, economy, trade, and global travel. AI has tremendously assisted the education sector, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, by employing AI-driven tools which enabled educational institutions, organizations, and businesses to maintain providing adequate levels of education and other services via remote learning and connectivity. For the research and technology sectors, AI is assisting researchers and scientists in finding similarities and making advanced conclusions by revealing insights that may have been overlooked, which became achievable due to the rapid and precise data analysis. We have gathered an elite panel of experts today to discuss all these subjects, and we look forward to their presentations. I will open the floor for each speaker to deliver an overview inspired by their distinguished perspective, academic, and professional experiences, following an open discussion at the end of the symposium. We will start with Dr. Abdullah Bunama, President of Abu Dhabi School of Management, who will be discussing machine learning and AI applications in business and managerial perspectives. Dr. Abdullah, the floor is yours.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. So thank you very much, Rahaf. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to be with you all. Okay, so today I'll talk to you about AI and machine learning and its application, the application of these technologies in business. But I'm going to talk to you about the managerial perspective. Okay, why managerial perspective? Because where my role is, president of Abu Dhabi School of Management. So we advocate the management perspective, not only in technology, but in any other field, okay? So we always look at the managerial perspective and how it impacts the business. Myself, I come from a technical background, okay? My PhD is in computer science. But in the last 15 years or so, I've been CEO/director and so on. So I've gained that managerial perspective, so to speak. So I devote most of my time to advocating the managerial perspective, not at the expense of the technical perspective, but rather to complete it and to ensure that the technology is properly leveraged and used for the benefit of the business. So, why consider managerial perspective, and why? What and why? What is a managerial perspective, and why would you want to consider it? So we know that we have two perspectives. We have the technical perspective, which is the dominating perspective when it comes to technology. So the default position of a lot of people is to always think about the technological development, the technological innovation, okay? But there's another very important piece of the puzzle, which is how does it impact the business, and how could it be leveraged to improve, grow, and manage the business, okay? That is normally not very well considered, okay? Everybody talks about the development. Now, this comes from a scientist. Myself, I'm a scientist, and I still do some science. I still do some computer science. I still do some algorithmic designs and, performance and all this kind of stuff, okay? So it's a different perspective. Now, so the technical perspective focuses on the technical aspects and asks the question, so what technical capabilities, okay, in this case, machine learning and AI, so, that's what we're talking about, and how to enable business success. Notice that enable business success, slash, underline that part. But the majority of the focus is the technical capability, and to make sure that it's working and it's updated and it's, backed up and it's, all that very important to the technical perspective. Now, from a managerial perspective, the focus is all about business, and there's no concern about the technology. If you go to a CEO, if any one of you is technical, and you go to the CEO and you say, you tell the CEO, by the way, the database that we have, its size is 1 terabyte, and we have the speed, and that is, stop right now. I don't want to hear it, okay? I know you have a database, but what can it do? What can you deliver? So the CEO, the manager, is always looking at the capabilities and how those capabilities can be leveraged for business success. Let me give you an example. If you go to the CEO of Etihad Airways and you start talking to the CEO of Etihad Airways about the capability about the engine, okay, and about the aerodynamic status of the airplane and stuff, you say, what are you talking about? I'm not interested in that at all. I want to know, what can I do with this type of airplane? What can I do with a small airplane? What can I do with a large airplane, in a Dreamliner, whatnot? How can I use it, okay? For what purpose? To serve the customer. That's number one. And number two is to ensure that the business is successful, okay? So that's our focus. That's what we focus on. Of course, we cascade down to a certain level, but we don't go under the hood. Under the hood, that means we don't open the car and we look inside the engine and we say to the, it works like this and like this and like that, okay? So, now, stop me because I talk a lot. Right, so now as a manager, okay, I always talk to managers, I talk to CEOs and so on, and I say, I want to talk to you about what you do from somebody who does what you do, okay? So peer to peer. So what are the 4 things that a manager worries about day in and day out, okay? And you're not going to find this in any book, okay, or case study or whatnot, okay? So this is my own advocacy and my own experience. Number 1 is what I call lights on. Lights on, that means that you have to ensure that business is running, that your department is running, your unit is running, your company is running, whatever it is. It's operating. It's open for business, okay? Number 2 is you will be managing problems, issues, whether employee issues, customer issues, supplier issues, regulation issue, whatever it is, comes to your desk, comes to your attention, then you have to understand it, analyze it, deal with it, come up with a resolution, or at least, keep it, tucked away, okay? Sometimes sometimes you cannot solve it, but maybe it gets escalated and whatnot. Number 3 is to improve efficiencies. So I'm always looking at what we do day in and day out, and I want to make it better, faster, cheaper. Okay? That's very, very important. And number 4, and most importantly, is identify opportunities for growth and development, whether in my unit or my organization. Okay? So these are the 4 things that I do day in and day out. Now, I do that within an environment. that I summarized in 10 points, and I'll just say them very, very quickly. Organizational strategy and initiatives, organizational policies, government regulations, budgetary constraints, people's management, process management, partnership, supplier, client management, evolving technological infrastructure, social media and emerging technologies, and demands for quality, speed, and efficiency. Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to go through it very quickly, but these are the constraints by which I have to abide with. I mean, in other words, I can't do something outside the budget, I can't do out of regulation, I can't, this kind of thing. Okay, now, now I want to talk about very briefly, okay, is machine learning, AI, analytics, and all this stuff. Okay, and then if we have time, then we can talk about how could it be leveraged, what I said in the first slide, how could it be leveraged to ensure success of the business and also, fulfill those 4 points that I mentioned to you. So very briefly, okay, I don't have the time, so I'll do that very briefly. So machine learning is a way to train the machine and not to program the machine. There's a big difference between the two, okay? It used to be that we tell the machine, if then, if this, do this, if this, do this, if this, do this, if this, do this, okay? Else error, or I don't know. Okay, that is the procedural way that we use to program machines. With machine learning, we take data, which we call training data, okay, and we use mathematical modeling, okay, and if I have time, I can mention a little bit about those modeling. And then we tell the machine, okay, learn about something. Just learn about something, okay? And we have, what we call the supervised learning and unsupervised learning and the reinforced learning. And it's basically the same as teaching a child, okay? If you want to teach a child about a table, you say, honey, this is a table. The table has a surface, it has legs, okay? And the legs, they could be 3 based on the shape, and it has a shape, surface, shape, and legs. And the legs could be 3 legs, could be 4 legs, could be 6 legs. The surface could be rectangle, square, this, that, okay? That's all you need to do. Then you say, they learn about this table. So you tell them, this is a table. But then they learn about this table, then you show them a coffee table, which you did not teach them about it. And then they do what? They have learned what the features of the table is, what constitutes, let me be a little bit precise. They have learned about what makes a table. And then all of a sudden, you can give them any other shape of table, and then they know it. And then they build this knowledge until they know all the tables that come across them, those that they have seen or they will see in the future. So it's the same idea. Okay, I don't know if this makes it a little bit simplified, okay, but it's the same idea. So the machine is given some data, trained on some data, and then we test the ability of it to how good the data is, okay, and what the result is. And for that, we have a performance criteria that we use to determine the goodness of the machine learning. And then after that, we make it live, and we give it, data, and then let it predict, okay? All right? So now, artificial intelligence sits at the top of the food chain. In other words, it's artificial intelligence, it is machine learning, and it's deep learning. Okay, so you cannot talk about artificial intelligence without talking about machine learning. Okay? And as I mentioned, machine learning is divided into the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and the reinforced learning. The reinforced learning is pretty much like playing a game. When you play a game, a video game, and then there's a reward and punishment. Okay, and then the machine then will learn. If you punish the machine, which is, we punish them, we don't hit them, we just give them a negative payoff function. Okay, we pay them less or we take away credit. Okay, but the machine can be taught that if you do this move, then it's a bad move. Then it will try to avoid that. Just like when you play the games, you play like Mario or something like that, and you hit a wall, then what happens? You lose your credit and you start again. Okay, then you're not going to repeat it again. So that's the idea of reinforced learning, and it's of course used in self-driving cars, use the reinforced learning, and of course the neural net or the deep learning to form the artificial intelligent agent. How are we doing? 4 minutes. Okay. So the question is, how can AI and machine learning help the manager succeed and operate effectively in the business environment? Okay, and that's the question that, as a management school and as a researcher, that's what I address. Okay, that's what I like to answer. Well, in order to answer all of that, we need to the manager needs to understand one thing very, very clearly, and that is, in order to answer that question, we need to, the manager or the CEO needs to understand that the organization must have data. So for us in this field, data is the gold. Data is everything. It's our food. Without data, I can't build any model. Okay? So, and as you know, data is all around us. So the question then, where does data come from? Well, data is all around us, right? I mean, right now I'm talking to you, I'm producing data with speech, video, okay? I have a presentation, I have this. So the quality of the data determines the quality of the utility from the AI and machine learning. The better the data, okay, the better the model, the better the decision. Okay, it's in that order. Okay, now unfortunately, most data, or about 80% of the data, it's called unstructured data. Unstructured data is very difficult data to deal with. So, for example, a video is unstructured data. An email is unstructured data. Okay, it's very hard to understand. It's very hard to process, and it's very hard to, come up with decisions. Much harder. Structured data is much easier. Structured data is only 20% of the data, and that is much easier to deal with. So, for example, if I have an employee record in the HR system, I love you. I love this type of data. Why? Because name, address, age, nationality, height, salary. Beautiful. I can build a very nice model with this. But you give me an email to parse an email and find information, or a chat in social media. That's more difficult. A lot more difficult. It is doable, but a lot more difficult. So, nevertheless, data needs to be cleansed, needs to be, managed, needs to be cleansed, needs to be, duplicates need to be removed, inconsistencies, this, that. So there's the pre-processing phase, which is extremely important. Once you have the data ready, then we can begin to run our models. And very quickly, I'll just mention about the models that we use. So we have 3 models that we use in machine learning and AI, and in analytics. I throw this in there as well. One is descriptive analytics, and that is something that we've been doing for many years, and this is to have a view of the organization from the past up to now. And the past can be defined yesterday, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month, a year, 2 years, whatever it is. But it will never tell you about the future. It stops right then and right there. And there are many different models that exist. And there are a lot of the dashboards that exist from many of the vendors are actually what we call descriptive analytics. And then you have to, as a manager, you have to intervene and make scenarios for the future. Okay, but it's given you up to the day, up to this moment. The second analytics, it's the type of analytics is the predictive, and it could be classifier, it could be predictive. I don't want to go into there. Okay, but it's predictive. It will tell you something about the future. Will predict something about the future. If you give me past data, then I'll tell you about what's going to happen with certain probability, based on the model efficiency. Okay, and we have our own ways to, choose the model and evaluate its performance and all this kind of stuff. The last one is the most powerful, and that's where AI really gives high value, big value, strong value to business, which is the prescriptive analytics. And the prescriptive analytics is to find out alternative futures. It's like, what would happen in the future? And that agent, that intelligent agent, can actually tell you when it is done right and having the right data, is that here's what likelihood that's going to happen. And therefore, you should change your business model, you change your product, you should change this, okay? So this is in brief. I try to summarize this in brief, okay? And I'll be more than happy to answer some of your questions. And of course, if you are technically inclined, we'll be more than happy also to talk to you about the actual detailed models and so on. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah, for your valuable contribution. Moving on to our next speaker, Dr. Bassam al-Mazroui. Dr. Bassam is the Director of Artificial Intelligence Cross-Center Unit, Technology Innovation Institute, and will discuss employing artificial intelligence in scientific research. Dr. Bassam, please.
Thank you for inviting us today for this symposium. Today I will talk about employing artificial intelligence in education and scientific research. But first I would like to brief you about the artificial intelligence and how it's transforming our world today. Although we are still in the early stages, and I want to insist that we are still in the early stages of the growth when it's come to artificial intelligence AI, modern AI systems are already able to capture and understand their environment in real time. They can make optimal decisions based on multiple signals, and what's more, that it can make all of this in milliseconds. With applications ranging from self-driving cars to telehealth and personalized patient data, AI is already changing our world today. However, there is also a lot of hype about what AI can achieve today, and we need to be careful to keep us more realistic and even more conservative towards our expectation on the AI and its capabilities. Of course, if I were to define AI in non-technical terms, I would say AI is a technology which enables the system to encapsulate cognitive functions along with adaptive and learning capabilities leading to self-improvement. Modern AI systems today can therefore understand and capture their environment in real time. What this means is that they can process multiple signals and data stream through technologies such as computer vision and natural language processing, NLP. Such tech enables AI system to understand pictures, videos, and this is the data that he mentioned earlier in his talk, and natural language, both voice and text. The last 3 years, the pandemic have certainly accelerated our reliance on the AI to help us with the contactless payment today and touch-free QR scanning that enables us with access to everything from restaurant menus to airline boarding. Computer vision and the ability of computer to see their environments open up an exciting world of possibilities. Autonomous car are able to enjoy 360 view of their environment and even make decisions as to the best course of action. Likewise, AI could also enable us to correct the biases that human recruiters today they are doing, as he mentioned, the HR. How they can enable us is by scoping disabled people with the skills and aptitude for different jobs. The Inclusive Design Research Center, IDRC, leads and partners in collaborative multi-sector applied research networks that proactively prevent barriers and promote greater inclusion. IDRC that over 50% of companies will deploy some of AI assistant or AI automated tools in the next decade in the HR recruitment. Also, we have Microsoft Seeing AI application is a prototype system that helps people who are visually disabled and that it will help them to understand the surrounding environment for them. We have navigation systems, robotics, medical examination, online content management, security system are just some examples of application powered by computer vision nowadays. If you have interacted with Amazon Alexa, Apple Siri, or Google Assistant, you will understand the huge progress we have achieved with natural language processing NLP technologies nowadays. For instance, we have Microsoft and IBM. They already report that their NLP technology perform at the same level or better than the professional transcriber and processing discussion of various topics. Soon, our dialogues that we are aiming to have with the robotics, it will be more efficient with the digital assistant being able to act autonomously. They will soon possess the capability to make suggestions regarding social, informational, education, scheduling, and traveling activities of your interest. Intelligent automation, which can be achieved at scale by using AI, is set to transform the way we work and the skill required. Of course, AI, like everything else, comes with its drawback. More conservative sector raise a question about the challenge of the data accumulation and the analytics, and the absolute power AI will have on making decisions for us as a human being. Now, how the AI will be integrated or is already integrated in the education. Artificial intelligence has the potential to address some of the biggest challenges in the education today. Innovate teaching and learning practice and ultimately accelerate the progress towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 4. A firm advocate of leveraging AI in education to boost the capabilities of a human being everywhere. UNESCO, within the framework of Beijing Consensus, has developed the publication called Application or Artificial Intelligence Application and Education Guidance for Policymakers. You can use this publication that aims to generate a shared understanding of the opportunities, the challenges that the AI offer for education, as well as its implication for the core competencies needed in the AI era. The connection nowadays between the AI and education involves 3 main areas. Learning AI, how we can learn with the AI. Example, the use of the AI power tool in the classroom. The second one, learning about AI, its technologies and its technique. As he mentioned earlier, some of his technique in the previous talk. The third one is preparing for the AI, enabling all our citizens here in UAE, in the world, to better understand the potential impact of the AI in the human life. Today, many look to the AI-powered tool to address the need to scale high-quality education, and with good reason. A surge in educational content from online courses, expanded access to digital services for our students, and the contemporary resilience in the AI appear to provide the pieces necessary to deliver personalized learning at everyone's scale. According to the report on the artificial intelligence market in the education sector in the US, experts believe that the AI in education was said to have surged a whopping 47.5% between 2017 and 2021. AI is set to contribute significantly with the task automation, supporting teachers in grading the paper, evaluating homeworks, completing necessary paperwork, and so on. AI can also ensure that the educational software is personalized for a specific group for each group of students, whether in a classroom or in university scale. Educational classroom itself can become globally accessible to all the students, including those that have visual impairment or speak different languages. With a PowerPoint that has a plugin such as a presentation translating using enable AI tool, people from different country or they have disability, they will be able to see the translator for different teacher, although he is speaking a different language. Also, AI can help teachers to create smart content that makes learning and teaching more effective for them. AI can help teachers to upskill, not only depend on the residual knowledge of teaching the student, but also making a specific curriculum for each student and each group in order to enable them to play their role in shaping the tomorrow's leader in the early stages in their education life. Now, what is AI and the scientific role and the UAE focus in this? Of course, within the artificial intelligence strategy launched in 2017, the UAE has invested heavily in various future services, sectors, and infrastructure projects utilizing AI in many domains. The UAE aims to be the world leader in AI by 2031 and expand the use of AI across sectors like education, energy, healthcare, transportation, space, and technology, and so on. Of course, at our AI Cross Center in TII, we are currently focused to design and deliver new AI methodologies, technologies, systems that address challenges, platform, and access for multiple sectors from economy to technology to cybersecurity and government services. We incorporate key elements of intelligence such as perception, sensing, language, planning, among others, in the ideation, design, and the creation and the prototyping for next generation system with a human-like intelligence using the AI, artificial intelligence. We build advanced AI computing and a scalable AI-based software stack and hardware system to deliver significant enhancement in system infrastructure here in UAE. Our AI researcher in the unit and the scientists are working and collaborating with engineers to innovate outcomes from AI theory to AI technologies towards a better intelligence. We run as well an industrial PhD program for talented UAE national in collaboration with Mohammed bin Zayed University on Artificial Intelligence in Abu Dhabi, also École Polytechnique in France. The UAE AI Ministry is looking to adopt an AI curriculum and launch 6 smart platforms to integrate technology within the education system. Around 600 schools in UAE with nearly 275,000 students and 21,000 teachers will work on these platforms. Given the growing focus on the STEM education in the country, and an estimate by McKinsey & Co. in its 2018 report, by 2030, 45% of existing working in the Middle East has the potential of being automated. Saying this, skills in artificial intelligence, data scientist, robotics, and machine learning will be the top in the list of specialization required to succeed in such technology. But where is the AI today and tomorrow, and what is beyond that? Today, we live in the time of accelerated discovery. Computing is poised to reshape every industry and field of study, indeed the society itself. AI has emerged as a driving force behind countless automated business decisions every day in our life. Quantum computing has evolved from a theoretical concept, and now it's already been in the field of a study that has the potential to upend industries the world over. Furthermore, the world is now moving from narrow AI to what we call it, or I call it, or everyone in the AI community, they call it super AI. Let me elaborate on this. So artificial narrow intelligence, or what we call it, is known as weak AI. It is the AI that exists in our world today. The one that exists in our world today called weak AI. And this weak AI is AI that's programmed to perform a single task, whether it's checking the weather, being able to play chess, or analyzing raw data to write journalistic report, for example. Narrow AI is operate with a predetermined, predefined range, even if it's appear to be a very sophisticated task. On the other hand, artificial general intelligence, or strong AI, refers to machines that exhibit exactly as human intelligence. In other words, artificial general intelligence can successfully perform any intellectual task that a human being can do it. This is the sort of AI we are transitioning toward, and the sci-fi movies usually present, where a human interact with machines that are conscious and self-aware, and this is strong AI. In addition, after 30 years of work, we are now moving from what we call it innovation number 1.0, where we were innovating in technology and engineering based on the need of our customer and the stakeholder, and anticipating the general direction of the industry through keeping our product research and development on track. Now what is happening, we are shifting from 0 to 1 in the innovation, and we call it the core of innovation 2.0. which is making theoretical breakthrough based on the vision and invention of basic technology. And this technology, we will use it because with the emerging AI technology, you need a new computational algorithm that it will advance the scale for better intelligence. And to achieve this, we have all to work to adapt multiple methods, including supporting university research, in-house lab, multi-path technology investment. However, we cannot innovate alone. We need to learn and leverage earlier success stories to bring all the stakeholders together, industry, academia, and research institute, all of them, to build a solid innovation path for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abtesam. It's an honor to have you here. We'll be moving to our third and final speaker of today's discussion, Dr. Ahmed Dabbagh, Director of Professional Services, Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, who will be discussing the global trends of artificial intelligence in scientific research. Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rahaf. Thank you to Trends in inviting me for this exciting workshop. And I think you put me in a very bad position after, mashallah, Professor Abdullah and Dr. Abtesam. I have nothing to say. No, I have something to say. As mentioned by Dr. Abtesam and also by Professor Abdullah, I think the first of thing before talking about global trend, we have to look at local. What's happening locally here? In 2014, I think with the World Economic Forum, we launched the Industry 4.0. And it has a clear skills and competences. And this is what we call now the job of the future. And most of this, if we look at all aspects of these technologies, artificial intelligence is coming on top of this. That's why we call artificial intelligence is not an item of Industry 4.0. It's the umbrella of Industry 4.0 technologies. From that, in 2017, of course, UAE launched the UAE Strategy of Artificial Intelligence 2031, which has 8 strategic objectives. And one of the main important strategic objective, which really I see it very sensitive in talking about this, is the capacity building. Why? Because having the trend of artificial intelligence, as you have heard clearly from my colleagues about the complexity of this technology and the deployment and the applications and also the GDP impact of it, it's huge. In this case, we have to take care about it, that we have to localize this technology in-house. In-house means in the country that we have to build the talents and we have to deploy them properly, that they have to work for this for years as a sustainable technology for the economy of the country. And if you read carefully this strategy of AI, the strategic objective number 4 is focusing always on the talent attraction and the talent pool creation in UAE, as well as is enhancing the research and the capacity building of the UAE population. For that reason, I think here they implemented the triple helix approach. The triple helix approach that we have the strategy from government as sponsored by the AI office, which is the UAE strategy of AI 2031. The creation of a university only working on artificial intelligence and attracting the international talent to be part of the community in UAE. It is the academia side of the triple helix. Creating a company, advanced companies called G42, on working only on artificial intelligence from the first perspective. It is also a strategy of the country thus to link the 3 dots of the triple helix. Adding to this one, Abu Dhabi advanced in creating umbrella of research entities. It's called ATRC, where they created 8 research centers of TII in different sectors.
Research center.
Now 10, yeah, but as the foundation it was 8 research centers, and now they expand 2 others. I think the digital is one of them. This is as a new.
Established with you having 7 research center, and now we are having 3 more.
Yes.
On top of the AI cross unit, because as he said, it is an umbrella.
Exactly. Yeah. You see here we have an ecosystem. We have the government, which is the policy maker and the support of the initiatives for the country. We have the education and the research, which is the creation of a university, top talent university worldwide. This is not a university of undergraduate, it's only postgraduate. We have only master degrees and PhD in different tracks of research and education. And we have the industry and we have the research centers. And here with this ecosystem, I think here, the focus of Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence is to attract the worldwide talent. Big researchers, very well renowned in artificial intelligence, is to change the paradigm of the artificial intelligence algorithms. Why we do this one? Because we are looking to the future. We are looking how artificial intelligence research will lead us to a certain algorithms which are not in the market for nowadays. We have a lot of challenges. We know about these challenges, but some algorithms, they are not relevant to these challenges. That's why we need a lot of efforts from computing. As Professor Abdullah mentioned clearly, from business perspective, this is to have to train the leaders how to use the artificial intelligence. We have also the budget restrictions, which is also a limitation of the expansion of artificial intelligence in application perspective, as well as that we have here the application themselves, where we don't have the right talents in the country to manage or to implement them for that. One of the main objectives of Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, regardless of the research and education they are doing, we created a parallel trend. It's called the executive education in artificial intelligence. Why we did this one? It was mandated from the leaders of the country that we have to train and teach the leaders of the country on the concept and the principles of artificial intelligence. And here where I'm coming back to what Professor Abdullah mentioned about what the leader is looking for. He will not look at the deep learning algorithm if it is accurate 90% or 70% at all. He will look at what's the return of investment or what's the problem solving he has. In his institution, this is when he's adopting this technology or this technology, what the return of investment for this for his institution, and to be sustainable and smart. And this is our, I think, keywords that we are using nowadays in all federal and local government, and even in industry, we hear it a lot. That the industry, of course, they are here to be profitable, but also they see the sustainability is more than profitability. We launched different executive programs for leaders for government of Abu Dhabi. And only for general directors, we launched the first executive education program is called AI for Leadership. And it is a short course only for the leaders, that's to train them with the faculty, which are the best faculty we hired from the best universities worldwide, to teach them about the foundation, the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. And after, we drove them to a certain called business framing sessions, where we are using their brain to take the problems that they are facing in their institution and to turn them to be AI use cases. In this case, the package that he's taking with him is the knowledge that he acquired from the guru or the professor that he's giving it. In this case, he has the fundamentals of the machine learning, how he compare machine learning to deep learning, how he can compare machine learning to computer vision or to NLP. What are the use cases in NLP that I can avoid to use them in computer vision or to machine learning? And here he can distinguish between that from the business perspective. And when he's coming to this type of sessions as our active sessions, he will talk business. I have this problem. Now let's use your brain as a leader to solve this problem, but in the perspective of business model of the use case. And here, this is where we see the relevance that this person, when they are back to their institution, they are buy into the artificial intelligence. In this case, they will come either to MBZ or to TII or to go to the local talents and seek for advisory or seek for consultancy or for research projects. And this is the way how we are attracting research projects with fund at the MBZ UAI, that we are launching this type of programs, seeking the interest of the leaders, getting back their feedback, and after launching research projects. And here I think this is the best that we can make momentum and impact in the society and also for the leader perspective. Last July, we received from His Highness a request that I need the leaders of the country to be trained about AI, but with the best professors worldwide. And we launched MBZ UAI Executive Program. It was a 12 weeks program. And the program, for sure, we had 16 professors worldwide from different universities. You name it, from Carnegie Mellon, from MIT, from Oxford, from Stanford, and they are very well known in the domain. And they delivered their courses, but also we did the business framing with them, and we did UAE national challenges with the leaders. We have only general directors of local and federal government. We have undersecretaries, and also we have some executive directors. The outcome of this program, it was they learned from the mouth of the experts worldwide known about the trend of the AI. As you have heard clearly from Dr. Ibtisam, the past, the present, and the future. And here we have seen the outcome of this one. A lot of research projects are coming to us. They're saying that we have problems, and we know that we have problems. Now we are ready to work with you, and we work with TII, we work with others in this case to solve our problems. This is the impact of momentum. Why I'm talking about this is very important, that we are an AI university, unique in the world in the specialization of AI. We have undergraduate students which are selected internationally from a very selective pool. And here that we are trusting their talent as to be really the talent of the future in UAE, to inject them to the different industries or to different research centers, as well as that we have the professors where they are directing research labs and in collaboration also with the research institution in Abu Dhabi and others here to create momentum from different applications. Our focus actually is healthcare, because we have seen the pandemic, we have seen the importance of healthcare on that level, and we have a very advanced center on artificial intelligence in healthcare. And we have also now, we are focusing on energy and industry 4.0, specifically in the manufacturing aspect, where the predictive analytics is the trend and which is not mature yet. And we have a lot of researchers are working in digital twin activities and also in the cyberspace. The global trends in AI for MBZ UAI they are more from the fundamental research and the applied research. Talking about fundamental research, we have researchers, they are working to change the complete face of the legacy algorithmics of machine learning and deep learning, and to make it more fast and more accurate, and to be really compliant to the actual hardwares and the network capabilities that we have in the market. The difference between machine learning and deep learning using big data, and machine learning could use the centric data, which means you don't need to train the model with the big number of, for example, pictures. If you are doing predictive analytics, you can have only 50 pictures of the issue, and here the model will be trained fast and accurate and less cost also from the computing power and also from the research development. The hardware, I think you heard about the edge computing, that here, for example, for the camera, when we are doing like face recognition, we have devices or computing power inside the camera that it can predict and recognize the faces instead of going to cloud computing or to centralized data computing, where here we have weaknesses in the communication sometimes, or also in the response in the telecommunication line. The other trend that we are working on it, this is the NLP, natural language processing. It's a very sensitive topic, and specifically in developing NLP in Arabic, because it's needed in government entities. It's needed a lot of initiatives, and Dr. Ibtisam knows very well that we work together at Khalifa University, that some initiatives from 2014 started by creating from different companies here. They came with solutions, but the solution failed at that. And no one actually in the market now is succeeding to answer the need of government entity or federal entities regarding this. And here we are working, and we attracted one professor from Australia. He's a very advanced in NLP, I think, here, and he will have his center, as well as that he's teaching the students master degree in NLP and a PhD in NLP. And here, this, I think we will see in few years here that the trend, research trend globally, it is local. You see it locally here. That's what we are doing here. This is global, but in local context. The last things that the university is thinking about it is the robotics also. The robotics is very important. You have seen drones, and you have seen this is the humanoid robotic here, and the cognitive computing here, that we can use them for the elderly people, for healthcare, and assistant-based NLP in Arabic also accomplished with the robotic, that we can do something for the healthcare, online healthcare, or an e-health system. And here we have also a group of researchers. They are working heavily, and we will have state-of-the-art robotics center next year, I think. And also we have accreditation. Finally, we got the accreditation from the Ministry of Higher Education about a new program in robotics and computer science, also accredited by the Ministry of Higher Education. I think I took some time there, but it's very important to show what is the local context from the global perspective. I think here what we are doing, we are creating a momentum, not only MBZUAI, the AI office, MBZUAI, TII, TRC from the fund perspective and umbrella of the research centers, G42, other, ADNOC also. They are doing a great job. They are doing a lot in AI. But do we disseminate exactly and do an impact in reality? And this is exactly what you will see, I think, in the next 2 years, I think, about big impacts in solving national challenges. We started with the genomic project, and here I think we will have results, and the results are unique worldwide by using AI. And the database created for the genome for an Emirati people, I think this is the best and most accurate genome database worldwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed, for your input. That was truly insightful. Thank you, doctors. We will move on to an open discussion. Due to time, I received a couple of questions from the viewers and from my colleagues, but due to time, I'll just ask one general question to give time for the attendees to ask if they have anything. So my question is for Dr. Abdullah or anyone who wants to share. So how can the negative repercussions of AI on the field of scientific research be minimized? And what can be done to ensure that AI systems operate ethically and with fairness and transparency?
Hello? Okay, so I'll start, and then I'm very sure Dr. Ibtisam and Dr. Ahmed have something to say. But obviously there's a great concern and great alarm as AI penetrates society and is integrated into our daily lives and our business environment and government services and even military. We didn't talk about the military. I think Dr. Ibtisam mentioned about the drones and so on. Ethicists and moralists are beginning to sound the alarm that in fact we need to be very careful about the morality of the AI, okay? And of course, I don't know if you know about the moral experience with a self-driving car. Let's suppose that there's a self-driving car and it's driving and there's an old woman crossing the street and there's a woman with a child crossing the street, okay? Or on the other side of the street. And then the car, which one should the car hit? Okay? So that's a moral question that's very difficult to answer, okay? There are some with the NLP and especially with Google and with Siri and whatnot, which Dr. Ibtisam mentioned. It's of course an artificial intelligence agents. We're finding some prejudices being embedded into the search engines and into Siri. Okay, for example, in this part of the world, for example, if you would ask information about, let's say, Beit Lahem, then you're not gonna, if you say Beit Lahem, Palestine, it's gonna say no such city exists. Okay? I mean, the agent is gonna, this is an intelligent agent. So that means the prejudices has been imported into the engine. Also, we have some examples about women, about people of color, about Chinese people and Korean in America, and Arabs and so on, and Muslims and whatnot. So it's beginning to become a big problem. And many of the ethicists and moralists are really trying to address all of that. The last example I give you is the drones. How can you, would you give a drone, okay, the ability to make a decision to bomb a village in, I don't know, Afghanistan or, Somalia or something like that, these war-torn countries, okay? Or should it go back for human intervention? So these are very, very important questions that many of the ethicists are considering. Okay, I'll give Dr.
Thank you, Professor Abdullah. I see two parts in the question. Let's go to the AI ethics. I think here it's a role of policymakers is to define the type of ethics that's to be applied on any development in anywhere. And it started, I think, with the European Union, and now United States, they followed. UAE, I know very well that they are developing the local ethics policies and to be deployed with the data management policy of UAE. It's obvious because we have, as Google Brain, I think it's a machine which generate another machine without any human interaction or intervention. And here, the way how we are programming the first machine, we don't know the assurance how the second machine is generated from the machine itself. And here where we see that, for example, for robots, to be sure that the robot is serving properly the action, we have to cut the power, simple. If it is intelligent, the most intelligent, and it can hurt to our our needs, I think a power cut can end the robot. But for machines, exactly.
It may not be possible.
If we think about it, yes, exactly, that we can do redundant batteries and everything, and here, yes, exactly, yeah. Yeah, but we have always in any machine, who did the concept of the machine as a human being? It depends where are you going. I think here this always, and also I posted and linked it several times, it was a great discussion, is about who is behind the programming of the machine or the creation of the machine. Now we have to think about the morality of people. As we are talking about autonomous vehicle, because, okay, if I am human being before autonomous vehicle, which decision I have to take for this scenario? Okay, first, if I solve the human being decision making, I think here the machine will follow for that. But we are not under, okay, we are not under the mercy of some people who they can use it for their bad things or for a certain purpose which are not for the humanity services. And here where the ethics will limit these cases, I think here in certain sectors. That's all.
Here I would like to add that whenever you talk about the AI, you should consider always the AI for good. And we have a global initiatives called AI for Good. And also within our AI cross-center unit, I have 5 main programs. One of the programs called AI for Good. In that program, I want to ensure that we address the fairness, the trustworthiness, the ethics, the ethical use, the privacy, and how we increase the trust between the society and different industrial sector. This is the most important point, because I can give you a tool, for example, the metal. The metal that could be used, the same metal used for manufacturing the weapon, it could be used to have, for example, a toy that you give it to your child. It's same thing applied to the AI. So here we are enabling a tool, and we are doing all the research and developments toward having better artificial intelligence or general intelligence. Now, who is using this tool? This depends how we use it. We cannot control it. Where the morals and morality of that person, this is where he decide how to use it. So it is always, you have to put in your mind, we develop the technology, but how the people use the technology, this depends on them. In order for us to cope with the advancement that's happening in the worldwide, as a UAE and as a nation, we have to go toward this one. And I am responsible to equip the talents here in the UAE with these certain skills. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. If anyone has a question, if not, I'll conclude. Anyone?
Thank you. Well, thanks for that was a very intense and very enriching discussion from the panelists. I had a couple of questions actually for Dr. Dabag. You mentioned the executive education, and that sounded practical and combined AI with business and policy issues. Is there a public outcome to that, or is that something reserved?
No, it's not reserved, but okay. We graduated 2 weeks ago the first cohort of 41 leaders in the country. And it was open to public, but the selection was very tough. Yeah, okay, it's fine. My voice is... okay. Okay, good. I will repeat, okay? 2 weeks ago, we graduated the first cohort of the executive program with the 41 leaders in the country. And it was open in September for public, but the selection was very tough. I think here to take only the leaders and to limit the seats for that. Now we just started the cohort 2 orientation, and we have 45 leaders. I think cohort 3 in October, we decided to make it more open for other sectors and also for the region. Not only for UAE, but also for the region, to attract also the talent this is to be part of this program. You can Google it, I think, here, and you go to MBZUAI website, and you will see everything there. And if you are interested, I can send you the prospectus of this executive program. Honestly, it's not because I'm the program director of this one. We did the benchmarking of this compared to the business schools worldwide and delivering the same. The way how we did the outcome and we gained the outcome from the talents and UAE talent, which are the leaders in the UAE, it's amazing. Because here, the research project that we created from this program for the talents, they are UAE challenges to be solved.
Anyone else?
Thank you, Dr. Ibtisam, Dr. Abdullah, and Dr. Ahmed for your distinguished presentation. I have two questions. One is, the main concern of many people is that the machine, the AI machine, will replace the mankind in thinking, in producing, and achieving work. Is this a real threat into human? This first one. My second question is about the social studies, especially social studies. How can we applying AI in social studies, especially? Thank you.
I'll take the first one. Okay, so for the first one is that really, in order to answer that question, you need to rewind all the way to the Industrial Revolution. Okay, when the Industrial Revolution happened in Europe, okay, and all the mechanization happened, and then after that, the train and the automobile and the ships and so on and so forth. And if you trace it back, you find that as the technology increases and develops, so to speak, more economic opportunities occur. You see what I'm saying? So they're so much correlated, okay? So we always talk about replacing people, but the opposite actually happens. New opportunities happen. Many, many years ago, we didn't have the knowledge worker. Now we have the knowledge worker, okay? Long time ago, people used to be, working by their hands. Now a lot of people are working with their brains because of the technology, because of the communication and so on. So there is no fear economically at a macro level that technology is going to displace people because we have plenty of evidence with respect to that, okay? So the social...
No, I will answer for the same question. It's very important, this question. I think going to global statistics in 2018 with the World Economic Forum said clearly that the buzzword of eliminating jobs, I think this is a misleading, honestly. We are eliminating jobs. I think we are eliminating 12 million jobs in 2030. But at the same time, we are creating 18 million jobs. And you see here the trend that if you are able to take this trend and to be part of this 18 million, I think most likely you will be part of the other side, which is eliminating the jobs. That's why capacity building is very important. I think here upscaling, rescaling the talents here. We have a lot of computer scientists in the country, but they are all AI savvy? Absolutely not. We need to train them. We have to give them the foundation of this and to give them some use cases to implement and to be at the level that they can start using this one. In government entity, we have seen a big weakness from the leader perspective about distinguishing between data scientists and data analytics. Simply because they would like to create their department, data management department. They don't know how to hire. This is data scientists for what? Or data analytics for what? And here where you see the capacity building of leaders in that level will help you, I think, in growing and increasing and injecting the right talents in the market. And be sure that with the strategy of UAE, I think in 2 years, we have the first cohort of our students' master degree will be done in December. And here we have about 70 master students are graduated from the university. Most of them, they will continue in PhD, but some of them, which I know that they don't like. They have to create their own startups, which is also another aspect of the innovation ecosystem that we are building also at the university. This to encourage our students this to create their own business. Instead of being employee of XYZ, I think creating their startups, and we give them facilities, we give them fund, some investment, and be part of a spin-off of MBZUAI. I think here it will create a lot of impact in the market regarding the talents. Not only in AI, I think you see it in the 3D printing and predictive maintenance, that we have a lot of technologies where here also it needs a lot of capacity building, and we know that human being is very important. Is a human factor, I think presence is very important. That's why I trust this statistics that 18 million to be created, but 12 million of legacy jobs I think could be eliminated.
And if I may comment on that, exactly as you said, not only it will create a new job, but it will, I believe, Industry 5.0, it will change. Because now in the Industry 4.0, we are talking about how we can equip the technology and enable the AI technology, blockchain, all of these technology in several industrial sector. Industry 5.0, it will be totally different story, where the robots, they will work side by side with the human. So the legacy jobs, it will be eliminated, but this will create a new era for the humankind, for us to think, to be creative more, because now we are too much busy nowadays to do a legacy and routine jobs. We don't need that. We need to use our brain to think as a humankind, because this is our advantage. We will use it, and also our responsibility to equip our talents in UAE, also around the world, with the right skill. So there will be industrial leaders, and they can work on with the technology trends that's happening worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, doctors. Thank you for sharing your insights. Very much appreciated. That concludes the end of the symposium. On behalf of Trans Research and Advisory, I thank all the panelists and the viewers who have joined us today to participate in this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.